aboard! This is Maritime Viewpoints on Marino World Online. I am Dean Bacani. Ports management plays a very important role in keeping the supply chain moving, especially in an archipelagic country like the Philippines. Joining us on the program is Attorney J. Daniel Santiago, General Manager, Philippine Ports Authority or PPA. Welcome to the program, GM.
Hi, Lynn. Good day to you and good day to all your listeners and your viewers.
And of course, ihapon ko yung pagbati sa inyo sa PPA dahil nag-celebrate pa lang kayo ng 47th anniversary. Sa lahat ng officers and employees ng PPA, congratulations and happy 47th anniversary po.
Maraming salamat, Lynn. And thank you always for supporting PPA. For my past 5 years, you have always supported us through your write-ups and through your cooperation and disseminating information about PPA and the maritime industry. So I cannot thank you enough and maraming salamat to you and Marino World.
Of course, marami kasi mga kaganapan talaga dyan sa PPA. GM, PPA is now considered as a premier government-owned and controlled corporation or GOCC. What are the reasons behind the success?
Wow, thank you naman. No, we never considered ourselves as a premier government agency, no. Napakalaking parang obligasyon noon to accept that parang branding. But be that as it may, we would like to think that PPA is one of the main supporting agencies of the government through the Department of Transportation. And I think what you're referring to is that until recently, parang mas na-highlight yung accomplishments ng PPA at na-highlight yung role ng PPA in nation building, primarily because through the yung guidance ng ating Secretary of Transportation, Secretary Arthur Tugade, in implementing number 1 yung prudent fiscal management or prudent financial management for PPA. Ang ibig sabihin yan, what we have been doing is that everything that PPA has been earning from its operations, from its regulatory function also, and at the same time what PPA has been spending for its projects, for its development efforts, these are all being earned and being spent in the most prudent way possible, meaning we do not spend unnecessarily and we prioritize projects based on need and based on the development priorities of the government. We, unlike before, na we initiate projects, the PPA initiates projects depending on political considerations. Right now, we do not implement projects based on political considerations, but we implement projects based on the need of the particular community or locality. So you will see na mas marami tayong projects na accomplish ngayon because mas maganda ang pagtrato natin sa kinikita ng ahensya at mas maganda ang paggastos natin kasi hindi nasasayang at napapakinabangan lahat ng pinagkakagastosan natin. Pangalawa, malaki din ang bahagi ng PPA kasama ang Department of Transportation sa pag-accomplish ng build projects, at least on the on the maritime side, on the seaports side. We have together with the DOTR, we have completed 421 seaport projects from 2016 until June 2021. And we are set to accomplish 100 more before the end of the term of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. In line with that also, kasama dyan, we have institutionalized mga good governance practices. We have been awarded by the Presidential Communications Operations Office as one of the FOI champions. One of the agencies na FOI champion na maintaining that we have been very transparent in all our dealings, in all our transactions. Yung mga inquiries, we attend to them judiciously. Yung procurement natin, both yung procurement natin ng infrastructure services, ng goods, and yung bidding out natin ng mga concessions, These are all live streamed para makita ng mga observers na ika nga kung meron man silang makitang hindi tama o hindi ayon sa proseso ay maipagbigay alam kaagad sa atin. And so far naman, we are proud to say na this has been working very well for purposes of transparency. And finally, because of the pandemic, we were forced to immediately adapt yung digitalization program natin, digitalization effort natin na dati multi-year ang implementation niyan, na forced to good tayo kumbaga, na kailangang madaliin kasi requirement natin yan so that we can continue on with our operations both for cargo handling and passenger operations. So I think those are the factors that contributed to PPA being a recognized agency now, being an important instrumentality of the government in achieving the government's programs for the administration of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
And it's really remarkable, GM, kasi despite this pandemic, during a pandemic, meron kayong 3.762 billion dividends, di ba, sa Bureau of Treasury.
Yes, that's correct, Lynn. In fact, we have been trying to set new records every year. If I will just mention, at least from the time we came in during first quarter of 2017, dividends for 2016, until the dividends that we paid first quarter of 2021, ang total dividends na nabayaran natin to the National Treasury, or na-contribute natin sa National Treasury, is about 17.2 billion. Okay? Comparing that to the past 6 years, from 2010 to 2016, ang dividends na na contribute during that term was only 8 billion or so, So we have more than doubled that for the past as compared to the past administration from 2010 to 2016. And to add to that, Lynn, for the past 20 years, the total dividends that PPA has contributed to the National Treasury is only about 20 billion. And we have been able to accomplish 17.2 billion in only 5 years. And we are sure to overshoot that 20 billion dividend that has been paid for the past 20 years by the time the administration of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte ends in June 30, 2022. So malalagpasan natin yon.
GM, could you give us a bit more information on the pre-pandemic picture of the financial status of the PPA, and how does this compare to the current situation? Has this somehow affected some of your projects or infrastructure projects like yung sa cruise tourism natin?
Well, yung natin, yung pre-pandemic situation natin, of course, may momentum na sana tayo nag-gain nun, before March 2020. Maganda yung traffic volume ng cargo natin, maganda yung passenger volume natin kasi nagpi-pick up na yung tourism natin, especially yung local tourism. Unfortunately, when the pandemic hit and the community quarantine or lockdown hit mid of March 2020, medyo, if you will remember, medyo nagkagulo tayo first couple of days during that lockdown, and we fought hard to make sure that our ports remained open, hindi ba? And that the logistics chain remains unhampered. So maaalala mo noon, halos araw-araw nasa radyo at TV tayo, nakikiusap tayo na sa mga truckers natin, nakikiusap tayo sa mga warehouses natin to remain open kasi bukas ang ating mga pantalan. At even during that time, nakipag-ugnayan tayo sa Department of Trade and Industry, sa DOF, sa Bureau of Customs, sa DOTR para ma-improve yung regulatory situation natin sa ating mga pantalan regarding yung mga free stays ng mga cargo, how we can expedite yung processing. So far, of course, we are not yet yung volume natin at saka yung revenue natin, we are not yet at pre-pandemic levels. Okay? But definitely, but comparing to pre-pandemic levels, we're only down to probably about 5 to 7% lang in terms of volume and in terms of revenue. Comparing yung volume naman natin from last year kung saan nakita natin yung kasagsagan ng community quarantine at ng lockdowns. Fortunately, we are now up by 10% compared doon sa volume at traffic natin compared to last year. So, hindi naman nagsara ang mga pantalan natin, hindi nagsara ang mga terminal natin. Cargo volume remains healthy, and we anticipate that this will continue on, the trend will continue on as we near yung holiday season natin, yung Christmas season natin. We still expect, despite the varying quarantine status of the different communities or different localities, there will still be demand for yung holiday holiday requirements ng mga kababayan natin, and we expect cargo volume to further pick up as we near towards December.
Of course, kasi lahat naman challenging sa lahat ng mga maritime stakeholders natin. Any support extended to the local maritime industry since the pandemic in the country last year?
Well, you will remember by reason of yung Bayanihan 2 funding natin, we were able to obtain funding from the Department of Transportation. I think about 220 million na in-apply natin doon sa waiver ng wharfage at saka ng mga port dues ng mga domestic shipping lines natin. Yun yung ginamit natin pantulong sa maritime industry natin para makabawas doon sa mga gastusin nila, considering na bumagsak nga yung traffic volume ng mga pasahero at mga kargamento, para makatulong din sa kanila.
And are all projects being carried out under the Build program of the Duterte Administration?
Yes, Lynn, we are proud to be part of the build push ng Duterte Administration. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, together with the DOTR, we have completed 451 seaport projects, and we are set to complete 100 more before the end of the term of President Duterte. Notwithstanding the pandemic, you will note from our releases, we continue on completing projects, we continue on inaugurating projects, both physically and virtually. And I think so far from the start of the year until now, we have inaugurated virtually and physically almost 40 projects, considering that we've completed about 67 already.
At kasama dyan yung mga cruise terminals, no, GM?
Yes, kasama yung cruise terminals natin dyan.
Marami pa yan.
Yes. In fact, yung cruise terminal natin sa Lumake, which we just inaugurated I think about 3 weeks ago, may nagsiship call naman na dyan, may nagsiship call na sa Lumake. Unfortunately nga, natigil because of the pandemic. But what we have done is that not considering na nagkaroon ng lull doon sa cruise tourism natin, we took that as an opportunity to further improve yung yung port natin sa Salumage and yung port din natin sa Corimao sa Ilocos Norte, yung Salumage sa Ilocos Sur, so that they can take in cruise ships na hindi nakakailanganin yung tendering operations pa. We have greatly improved the facilities there, and they will be ready to accommodate cruise ships as and when cruise tourism opens. And if I may add also, before the end of the year, we will be able to finish yung ating dedicated cruise terminal in Siargao sa Hubang, sa Siargao, that will be finished by before the end of the year, and that cruise port will also be able to accept cruise ships calling in Siargao. In addition to that, in-inaugurate din natin kasama ang Department of Transportation, ang DPWH at saka ang provincial government ng Palawan, yung phase 1 ng cruise port natin sa Puerto Princesa City. That will continue on being expanded so that yung cruise ships can call on Puerto Princesa. In addition to that, and since you said na you are excited talaga dyan sa cruise tourism, meron pa kaming may mga projects kami na in the pipeline which we will start within the year, we will start constructing cruise ports. I will not tell you muna kasi we don't want people to speculate doon sa mga locations, mas mahihirapan tayo sa land values diyan. But we will commence constructing new cruise ports in tourism destinations, principal tourism destinations in the Philippines. Maybe you have an idea kung saan yon, but hindi ko nababanggitin. Pero definitely it will greatly improve yung cruise ship access doon sa principal tourism destinations natin.
At least kapag naririnig natin itong mga ganitong developments, andyan, nagiging optimistic pa rin tayo, no? Na matatapos din ang lahat ng ito, babalik din tayo dyan, and more awaiting for us, di ba, GM?
Correct. I agree with you. We should not take this pandemic na parang, of course, we always have to maintain yung health protocol. As much as possible, we do not go out unless it's necessary, maintain social distancing, wearing face masks and face shields. But this should not hinder us from doing our job. And ultimately, the new normal will set in. Ultimately, everything will be as it was, maybe even better pre-pandemic. And we have to be ready for that. We cannot stop and just wait for it to come. We have to be ready when the new normal happens.
And when we say new normal, of course, nandiyan yung digitalization, automation. GM, what are these notable digitalization efforts implemented by the PPA?
Okay, so maalala natin, we launched, we took the lead in launching yung contact tracing application natin, Trace, which is now which has been being implemented in all PPA ports. Ginagamit na din yan ngayon sa mga airports ng CAAP. Ginagamit na din yan sa rails natin sa certain lines ng MRT at LRT together with PNR. Pretty soon gagamitin na din yan sa sa land transportation. I believe it is already being used yan sa PITX sa Parañaque integrated terminal. Now, on top of that, meron tayong tinest na system, and we will be implementing that before the end of the year, yung tinatawag nating electronic ticketing system, which will digitize yung purchase and sale ng tickets for seagoing vessels para sa ating mga pasahero, para hindi na nila kailangang mag face-to-face transaction sa mga ticketing windows. In fact, from their mobile phone, from their home computers, pwede na silang bumili ng ticket ng pagsakay nila sa mga barko. Kung wala man sila noon, maglalagay tayo ng automated ticketing kiosks sa ating mga pantalan, para hindi na sila kailangang makisalamuha o makipagharapan sa mga takilyera doon sa mga ticketing windows natin. This is the new normal. We have to face it. COVID-19 will not be the last virus that the entire world will face, and we have to be ready to avoid yung going through the same challenges that we face against COVID-19. So we should be better prepared next time around. And that's why we're instituting yung digitalization natin. Dagdag natin dyan, ginagamit na at fully implemented na yung electronic payment gateways natin para sa ating mga terminals. Maaari nang magbayad yung mga port users natin ng mga cargo handling fees at saka mga port dues online. Through the PPA website, may payment gateway link lang silang i-click doon, and they can transact through that payment gateway, digital payment gateway already.
And it's really nice to know na hindi lang dito sa atin napapansin yung ating mga developments, dahil even in international, katunayan, you were elected as the Vice President for Asia of the Southeast and Oceania of the International Association of Ports and Harbors, or IATH. This is a big organization, a global alliance of ports representing some 180 ports and some 140 port-related businesses in 90 countries. Wow, so proud naman kami. So GM. So how would this benefit our country?
Actually, thank you, Lynn. In fact, nagpapasalamat din ako doon sa sa organization ng International Association of Ports and Harbors for nominating us and electing us as a Vice President for Asia Pacific and Oceania to represent that particular maritime region doon sa International Association of Ports and Harbors. I think that not because of myself, but because I think they recognize the Philippines as as a material and as an influential jurisdiction in so far as maritime trade and commerce is concerned. And that's why they have recognized the efforts being undertaken by the Philippines, and myself as representative of the Philippines, we are very thankful that they have recognized yung efforts natin. This definitely will open new avenues not only for the PPA but also for the entire Philippines as a maritime nation, na we will be able to get and obtain access to international best practices, networking and connections sa ibang port jurisdictions and port authorities. So maganda to. Hopefully we can start yung cooperation with them, with all the other jurisdictions, so that we can further improve yung developments natin in the maritime sector.
After the break, GM Santiago will give us updates on the country's crew change hubs operations. Stay tuned.
Prolonged quarantine and isolation, repeated COVID testing, impossible travel restrictions, delayed crew changes. It has been a tough time for our seafarers, and it's not just a physical pandemic anymore. It has become a psychological, emotional one, leaving our seafarers with mental distress, worried, anxious, depressed, and in a prolonged emotional and mental health crisis. When the seafarers are in distress, the whole industry will be. What we see in the future are vaccinated crew with ease of travel along the ports and countries where there is timely crew relief and they are not afraid of losing their job. We are in full support for the fair future of our seafarers.
Hi everyone! What a special day this is. The day of the seafarer, or shall I say the day of the hero? Yes, you are all our heroes. We commend your resilience, your hard work, your determination, and your leadership. We can't thank you enough for everything you do on a daily basis. We want you to know that we are always by your side no matter what. We're here to support you, we respect you, and we can't thank you enough. Be well, be strong, be healthy. We are one fantastic team. We are the OSM family, and it is all about people. It always has been, it always will be. It's in our DNA, it is our culture. Thank you.
What if I tell you that KSIM Connect has become a reality? It is the cloud-based ecosystem for maritime education and training, where Kongsberg provides simulation and services to all members. As an instructor, my main goal is to educate and train seafarers to acquire skills promoting safety, sustainability, and efficiency at sea. At KSIM Connect, I can efficiently manage my simulators, my exercises, and my students. In the exercise archive, I can store my library of exercises, and if I want, collaborate and share them with my colleagues or others in the global community. KSIM Connect enables me to give students access to cloud simulation, so they can train anytime and anywhere while learning at their own pace. In addition, I can explore the library of models and exercise areas, download or subscribe those that fit the learning objectives. And I can even order spare parts or a service visit if needed. Kongsberg has started to create the future of maritime education and training by creating the community where instructors can find news, explore and download available simulator models, distribute or share exercises that fit the curriculum. Imagine using KSIM Connect to integrate our simulators in the same virtual exercise environment, enabling students to train and interact together. It doesn't matter whether you're in Singapore, Australia, or in the United States. As long as you're online, you are part of the knowledge-sharing community. Kongsberg is shaping the future of maritime education and training by creating the community. Let's continue building this community together for the benefit of ourselves and the entire maritime training industry. Join KSIM Connect today.
We are back on the program. You are watching Maritime Viewpoints on Marino World Online. And we are still with Attorney J. Daniel Santiago, General Manager of the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA. GM, please give us updates naman dito sa ating crew change operations sa different areas natin dito sa bansa. And are there more crew change ports to be opened?
Lynn, thank you. As you know, ang crew change hubs natin na kinumission natin or in-start natin insofar as PPA is concerned, we have opened yung Port of Manila as a crew change hub. We have opened the Port of Capinpin in Bataan as a crew change hub. We have opened the Port of Batangas as a crew change hub. We have opened Davao in Sasa as a crew change hub. So far, from the time we opened it, I think sometime in September of last year, we have serviced about 53,000 seafarers in all of those crew change hubs being administered by PPA. Kasama dyan yung we've put up an isolation facility in dito sa South Harbor, yung Eva Macapagal cruise terminal that we have transitioned into a step down COVID treatment facility. And also that's for 200 beds. And we also constructed COVID-19 isolation facility in Port Capinpin in Norion, Bataan that is for 100 beds also, no? So pagdating ng mga ng mga ating tripulante, yung ating Filipino seafarers, yung mga inbound, diyan na sila pinoprocess, immigration, customs, quarantine, diyan na sila in a RT-PCR swab, and while they're waiting, they can stay at the isolation facilities. Mabilis lang naman. Yung results natin ngayon, nakukuha nila in less than 24 hours. So mabilis silang nakakauwi sa kanilang mga pamilya, no? Now, next question is whether or not we will open new crew change hubs other than the 4. Well, of course, there's one in Subic which is being run by SBMA, no? Insofar as PPA is concerned, if there is demand for us to open new crew change hubs, depending on the number of ship calls doon sa areas na yun, definitely we will open. But of course, we will have to consult yung LGU first, kasi yung pag-open ng crew change hub, hindi lang naman PPA yan. We have to coordinate with the Bureau of Quarantine, we have to coordinate with the Department of Health, and most importantly, we have to coordinate with the local government unit. Kasi once we open that as a crew change hub, all of those agencies, all of those organizations have to be ready to take in the seafarers. Iba-iba yung condition ng mga seafarers. Merong the people who come in healthy and also people who come in sick or infected. So kailangan ready yun. Ready yung mga localities natin to manage those risks and to take in those contingencies if needed. So definitely kung kakailanganin, we will coordinate with them and we will of course expand yung network of crew change hubs natin.
So may pumapasok ding income with this crew change process?
Actually, ang income lang dito really is kapag halimbawa yung mga yung mga ships natin, they dock, of course they pay the port dues, but insofar as the seafarers are concerned, wala silang binabayaran dito. Even the COVID-19 testing, libre yan for seafarers, In fact, even hindi sa crew change hub, even if the seafarers come in sa airport, libre yung COVID-19 testing nila, and that is one of the the assistance that has been extended by the government to accommodate yung inbound seafarers natin para hindi naman sila masyadong mahirapan at hindi sila magkaroon ng malaking gastos pag uwi nila.
So priority talaga yung kumbaga yung employment ng ating mga seafarers, no?
Correct, yes.
Ang health dahil one-stop shop na nga siya. And of course, meron pa tayong mga ibang mga concerns dun sa crew change, GM?
Well, wala naman tayo, except that of course the system and the protocols are in place, except that katulad nung meron tayo narinig nung isang beses, hindi ba, meron yung positive sa butuan ng mga seafarer na tumakas at saka ang pinananawagan lang natin doon sa mga tripulante natin, may proseso tayong dapat sundan at itong prosesong ito hindi naman to para pahirapan sila, kung hindi ito ay para pangalagaan sila at pangalagaan yung mas nakararami, no? Let us not be selfish and then think of ourselves only and put the health of all other people in the community at risk just because we don't want to wait or we don't want to follow protocols. So yun ang nagiging problema natin. Every now and then we hear of reports and we have incidents na may mga may mga seafarers tayo. Sometimes foreigner, sometimes Filipino, mga kababayan natin na hindi sumusunod sa protocol natin for crew change, and we are just appealing to their sense of nationalism at saka patriotism na sumunod na lang tayo para hindi naman lalong lumala pa ang sitwasyon natin dito sa ating bansa.
And any plan of continuing the operation of these crew change hubs even post-pandemic na tayo?
Yes, of course. In fact, itong crew change hub na to, this was this is really the brainchild of Secretary Artugade, no? In fact, he has already reported itong effort natin sa IMO at sa International Maritime Organization at saka sa International Labour Organization. And we really want to make the Philippines parang yung principal crew change hub in this part of the world, as we all know, napakarami ng mga tripulante o mga seafarers na Filipino all over the world na nakasakay sa mga sasakyang pandagat. And we are offering the Philippines as an ideal hub by which Filipino seafarers can be offloaded and at the same time Filipino seafarers can be onboarded para makatipid din yung mga shipping lines, yung mga international shipping operators, that they don't have to spend so much for air transport ng mga seafarers natin. Pwedeng dito na lang mag-crew change yung mga yung kanilang mga foreign seafarers. They can take an international flight from the Philippines going to their home countries. And at the same time, yung mga Filipino seafarers natin will not have to take international flights going out or coming in anymore. So we're offering that service and because we think na ang complementary advantage niyan is really there will be additional tourism impact doon sa mga, lalo na sa mga foreign seafarers natin, at before they actually go home to take their flights going home, makapag-ikot sila ng mga 1 o 2 araw dito sa ating bayan. Of course, post-pandemic, when the new normal sets in.
And when we talk about vaccination, of course, lagi natin sila pinupush yung prioritization ng ating mga seafarers. But how about our port workers? Any vaccination plan for our port workers?
Yes, Lynn, in fact, we are very happy na na include yung mga port workers natin dito sa A4 category, those essential workers involved in transportation and logistics. And through the help of the private sector, we have been able to inoculate slowly. So far, we've already inoculated around 200 PPA employees dito sa from the head office and nearby port management offices. Of course, because we have been considered as part of the A4 category, we have encouraged yung mga mga PPA employees natin as well as port workers to avail of the vaccination in their respective localities. We have also coordinated with the LGUs to give priority to our port workers and our PPA employees. And so far maganda naman, regular yung vaccination drive natin para sa ating mga empleyado.
That's good news. With only with only more than 300 days left under the Duterte Administration, GM, what would be the key to sustain PPA's good performance?
I think what we have done to make sure, in fact, I was just talking to my senior management this morning on how can we actually ensure na yung ginagawa nating transformation sa PPA matuloy, even after the change in administration. takes place next year. And I think what we can do and what we have been doing is that we have been institutionalizing these changes. We are making this as part of our governance transformation. We are making this part of our organizational transformation. And we are implementing all best practices that we know of so that when the administration changes, wala naman sigurong masama na ipagpatuloy lamang kung ano yung mga nagawa nating magaganda, hindi lamang para sa ahensya, hindi lamang para sa mga tauhan o kawani ng ahensya, kundi pati sa mga proyekto at sa mga proseso. No? So we are implementing drastic changes. As you know, you have been very well immersed dito sa port community natin, Lynn. And you have seen the changes that we've made. And I think once we institutionalize that through regulation, through yung processes natin, I think, I hope, ituloy lang and further improve ng mga susunod na administrasyon at susunod na papalit sa atin. Anyway, we have very competent senior management in PPA who will stay behind even after the administration changes. And I am sure they will continue on kung ano yung mga magagandang nasimulan natin at ipagpapatuloy na lamang nila yan as we move forward, as PPA moves forward in the future.
Anything more you would like to emphasize, GM?
Well, unang-una, maraming salamat, Lynn, at naalala mo ulit kami. And thank you for giving us time dito sa Marino World. And ang masasabi ko na lang sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin, particularly dito sa ating maritime community, is that let's continue on following the protocols being set by the government. Number one, let's get vaccinated to be sure that we will be safe and we will be able to keep our families, our friends, and our co-workers safe. Continue on with the health protocols. Always wash our hands, wear a face mask, face shield, and then maintain social distancing. And unless necessary, let's just try to stay home and then make sure that we are isolated from everybody else, either so that we can avoid being infected or we can avoid infecting other people. Yun lamang, and I hope in as much as possible, hopefully we have a very good Christmas. We have a happier Christmas this year, and that I hope the entire nation fully recovers from this crisis.
Thank you so much, GM, for your time and for sharing your optimistic views amidst these challenges of the pandemic. Mabuhay ang PPA at God bless Maritime Philippines. Attorney J. Daniel Santiago, General Manager, Philippine Ports Authority or PPA. Thank you for watching Maritime Viewpoints.